Hi YouTube again, it's me. Yeah, I'm still in Australia, of course. I just started my trip, and I would like to make a video of approximately 5 things, a little more or a little less, depending on how you take it, that you should and shouldn't do in Australia, and you should know about when you're coming, especially if you're traveling from North America or Canada, anywhere, even Europe. You might not know about some of these things. Number one, so that's stringent on food. You're not allowed to bring food into Australia. Period. Well, basically, you are some limited amounts of certain foods, but basically the answer is no. You're not allowed to bring any sort of fruit, vegetable, fish, meat, dairy, or eggs. So basically, all you're allowed to bring is plain grain in a package, or certain types of, I don't know, breads. I don't know exactly. You have to look it up. So no food at all, and they have dogs at the airport that sniff bags, and if you're caught with food that you didn't declare, it's a $400 fine, plus they take your food. If you declare it, then you have to eat in the airport before you get out. Next thing, which is part of this, no earth on you. So that includes anything you have made of wood. So I had a wooden hammer, I had to declare it. If you have wooden tools, wooden anything, you bring a bench, anything, you have to declare it. And I brought a tent in, and tents, actually I brought one in because you are allowed to bring the actual tent, just not allowed to have earth on it. So luckily mine passed their inspection because I declared it and they checked it. You have to put a tent in a washing machine before, and then scrub the spokes off with the spikes off with some wire brushes, or put it in a parts cleaner and get them really clean. Because if there's one speck of dirt, it's going in the garbage. You gotta get new ones here. Yeah, and you're allowed to put them in your carry-on, of course, in your suitcase, not in your carry-on because they have spikes and whatever. Okay, next thing. I don't know if everywhere around the world is like this, but in Australia, the customs procedure is interesting. I advise you, as you're leaving your gates, on the way to walking towards the general customs baggage claim area, there are some automated machines. Use those machines. Nobody's using them. There's 3 or 4 of them. Use them there. Because if not, you're going to walk to the customs and you're going to have to use those same machines anyways. So the first thing you do is you get your electronic card from the machine. The only way you can't get a card is if you're from one of the banned countries, whatever. Not banned, but like countries that aren't under, like 50 countries on the list. If you're not on the list, then from one of those, or if you have a criminal record. Every other reason, you can get one of those electronic cards. Then you get to skip the big line if you go to those machines. And then you go to a series of diagonal facing lines, which is sort of weird. And you stand in front of a photo machine, they take your picture with the card. You then go on to claim your bags. And as you're taking your bags off the carousels, there's German Shepherds just sniffing dogs and barking all over the place because people bring food and whatever else in. And yeah, they come and they check your bags basically and make sure there's nothing in there illegal or you didn't declare. And then you have a chance to throw out your food before you go to customs. Then you wait in line for customs, and you either go through, or if you happen to go in secondary inspection, which I had to do because I had a tent and things, you go to the line for secondary inspection, and they inspect you and make sure everything's good. So that's that process. Next thing, I made a video about this one. Understand the police terminology here. It's not exactly the same as in North America. Maybe it's just the way Australians speak in general, but it's a little different. On a similar topic, you need to understand how to drive here. You're driving on the left side of the road, which is obvious. In a right-hand drive vehicle, which is sort of obvious. But Australians prefer roundabouts and crosswalks to stoplights and stop signs. So anywhere, like in North America, every few blocks you're going to hit a red light, you're going to hit a stop sign or something. Over here, I came across maybe 7 lights in half an hour driving, and like 2 stop signs. Every single corner basically is a crosswalk, and every few blocks there's a roundabout. So if you're not familiar with roundabout laws, you really need to be familiar with roundabouts. And these are sometimes 1, 2, 3 lane roundabouts, and they're right-hand drive. in a right-hand drive vehicle on the left side of the roundabout. It turns around clockwise. Yeah, turns around. Wait. Yeah, it turns around clockwise. So it's a little different than North America. The next thing that was the biggest for me, which I did not know about, I thought, okay, I'll unlock my phone. I'll come here and I'll buy a prepaid SIM card. Simple, huh? Yep, there's stores in the airport that sell you the SIM card. There's an Optus store and there's Vodafone, or Vodafone, I don't know how to pronounce it. And they both sell right in the airport. I bought a SIM card. Okay, it's not exactly the same as America, whatever. I spent $50 Australian on my SIM card, which had 9 gigabytes of data and unlimited talk and text in Australia and 1,000 minutes anywhere in the world. Well, not anywhere in the world, to a list of like 100 countries. So North America's on there, so Canada, United States, you have 1,000 minutes, but no international text. But that doesn't matter that much. And you have the data. I have 9 gigabytes of data, and this plan covers supposedly 85% of all major Australian cities. Okay, I'll give it that. Now, as soon as it got activated, my phone was only working about a third of the time. And I'm like, what the heck's happening? So I went back to the store after an hour and a half going there. It said I should go to the Samsung store. I went to the Samsung store, another hour and a half, and they figured it out. If you have a Canadian phone, or maybe even an American phone, and it's a model that they made different versions of for Australia, which there's plenty of, and mine is a Samsung Galaxy S5. I have a Canadian one locked. It was locked to Videotron originally. In the built-in settings to the phone, it only takes a frequency from one tower, one type of tower. In North America, there's 1 or 2 types of towers that emit certain frequencies, and that's what my phone is made to pick up. In Australia, you have 3 or 4 different types of towers, and 2 of those towers are really low band frequencies. I think one is like 400 and one is 500 hertz, and the normal one is 900 or 1100, something like that. So in Australia, they have 2 other types of towers, well, 3 other types really. So basically, in Australia, my phone could only work 1/3 of the time. My data was working the whole time. A little slow, but the actual phone and texting only works 1/3 of the time I'm here. In 1/3 of the places, I should say. If I stay in the same place with the phone, of course, I'm going to have it the whole time. But if I go shopping somewhere, my phone stops working. I come back here, it's working. Okay, and then I go somewhere else, it's working. There it's not working. Oh, there it's not working. You never know where it's going to work, and it's not going to work. There's no way to check. So my suggestion is to look this up before, and if they make a different model of they make the same model of your phone with a different software version on it in Australia, chances are it's not going to work, and you're going to need to buy an Australian phone, or suck it up and live with your 1/3 of the time phone usage that you could, or just get a new phone in North America before you come that has the same version used in Australia. And yeah, those are my 5 things basically. There's probably some more I'm missing out on. I'm just not remembering at the current time. But yeah, should. It's pretty simple. The rest of the stuff, look it up yourself. Look up what you're gonna do here, what you're gonna get food wise. There's no Walmart here. There is a Target actually, but it's nowhere near the same. There's no big superstores. You have to go to like a Walworth, Kohl's, Kmart to get more of the pots, pans, sleeping stuff, clothes side, and Kohl's and Walworths are food and flowers, fruits and vegetables, things like that. So you gotta get the right stuff. You gotta figure out all this stuff before you leave. Oh, very important. Number 6. Yeah, it should be 6 things. Okay, so if you are a Canadian or American or dual citizen, Canadian and American, traveling to Australia, you need to get a Australian visa, even if you're going in there and getting out of the airport and going straight back in. If you're going through the customs, you need an Australian visa. I didn't know this. I thought visas were like for students or something, because I always go Canada, United States, Canada, Europe, Canada, Israel, Canada, wherever I go, and I never need a visa. I just bought my Canadian passport. And when it came to Air Canada agent. I'm like, here's my Canadian passport. They're like, yeah, do you have a visa? I'm like, no, I don't have a visa. What do you mean I need a visa? Yeah, you need a visa. We're not letting you on the plane. I'm like, okay, I'm not letting you on the plane. I need to fly at my flight. And they're like, yeah, good thing you came 3 hours early. You got to look it up online, and you could order it online. It costs anywhere between $25 and $45 depending which service you use. I had to use one that worked on my cell phone because the regular one wasn't, and I ended up paying $45. And yeah, you get a visa, and you get a instant code that you could give the guy at Air Canada, and you could fly. Your visa's not activated until 24 hours after you buy it. So I bought it then, and he let me on, and I had to stop over in LA. And when I got to LA, everybody's boarding the flight, and they call me, Mr. Lombroso, come to the desk. I'm like, okay. I came there, and I'm like, is there a problem? I guess so. You don't have a visa. I'm like, what do you mean? Here's my emails with my codes and everything. I ordered it. Yeah, but it's not here. I'm like, please, it's here. Let me on. And luckily, they let me on. They spoke to their manager. They let me on, and I went onto the aircraft. And halfway through the flight, I was approved for the visa. And when I landed, I had it, and I went through customs, and everything I declared, it was a breeze. They don't have any more declaration cards in Canada and the United States. But in Australia, they have a declaration card, and you really have to look at what you're declaring. You're declaring wooden items, you're declaring food, any type of food, any seeds, any earth you might have. If you've ever been camping in the last like 30 days or something, if you've ever been fishing, have you ever touched a North American water body? Like, I don't know why that matters, but there's that question, so you gotta put the box. And that's about it. So if you want to know any more, you can read it down below.